Good morning guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm really excited to be filming this video today. It is all about my interstitial cystitis, how I found out that I had it, what my symptoms were, how I cured, you can't cure interstitial cystitis, but like how I manage my symptoms and how it affects me day to day now. Before we get into this video, I would love if you could please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Seriously, your support means the entire world to me. But let's get back into it. Obviously, this video won't be relevant for everybody, but I hope that it helps at least one person. When I was diagnosed with interstitial cystitis, or IC, there was very little information that I could find about like how to cure it or manage your symptoms, and there were very little testimonials, so I really turned to YouTube to find specific, like, personable testimonials of specific things that people did. So I hope that this helps at least one person. I can take you guys way back to my college days. I was a sophomore in college when I started getting any symptoms of IC, or where kind of my whole journey began. In a time period of 8 months, I went to the ER 12 times. You guys, 12 times. Every single day for the most part, I would have this sharp pain in like my uterus, it felt like, to the point where I couldn't even stand up. And I was a receptionist at the time, so I would be at work like literally clenching my belly, not being able to walk, crying, which I'm a very emotional person, I will admit, but I don't like to cry in public or cry in front of people. But I have to leave work to go to the ER. They would run tests on me and then they'd be like, oh, we found nothing. Or I would get to the ER and honestly, the pain would have gone away because you know that sometimes you wait there for like 2 or 3 hours. So I was like, this is it. I started seeing specialists in Tallahassee, which is where I went to school. I went to school at FSU. So I would see like urologists, which I was literally the youngest person in the room by like 50 years. It was honestly embarrassing that I was there, but it's okay. I would go to OBGYNs, I would go to gastroenterologists. Like, I saw all of the doctors, okay? They went in with a microscopic camera to check out like my insides, make sure that I was fine. And this went on for 2 years. Symptoms. I felt honestly like I was dying a lot of the time. It would be so painful, again, to even stand up or walk or do anything. But it also, I had like really bad UTI symptoms. So it felt like I had a really terrible UTI to where you need to pee every 5 seconds. After you pee, you feel like you need to pee more. Like down there, you just don't feel great. I wouldn't be in pain 24/7. Typically what would happen was I would wake up and feel fine. I notice this now looking back, but it would always be shortly after I ate something. So I would go to the on-site or the on-campus doctor and I would just tell them that I had a UTI and that I get UTIs all the time and I knew what I had, and just give me medicine, like just give me a prescription for my UTI. So I was like, okay. Every time that they would go in and test my urine, I never had a UTI. Like, I never had an infection. So they would be like, okay, this is really weird that you're feeling all of these symptoms, but you don't have an infection. They would give me the prescription anyways, because ultimately it did make me feel better. At least I could function, you know? I would do that for about 2 or 3 years. And then it came to a point where I got super into working out and eating healthy. So my lifestyle changed a little bit after I graduated college. And then maybe for like a year, I didn't feel any of the symptoms or anything again. Then in 2018, in February, I started getting really bad flare-ups and symptoms again. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want this to stop. So I saw a specialist in South Florida. His name was Dr. Iad. Dr. Iad, I have no idea how to pronounce it. It's E-A-D. He was amazing. I went into his office, he saw me right away, and he told me literally within the first 5 seconds of me telling him all my symptoms and kind of my previous medical history and what I had experienced, he goes, you have interstitial cystitis. I was like, interstitial what? What the heck is that? He was like, it's a condition that is not curable. And as soon as I heard those words, I think that my mind just went to the worst. I remember going home and I was just like nonstop crying that day when I found out that it was like not curable. But he's like, the good thing is you can manage it with what you eat. So he's like, do you work out? I'm like, yes, I already work out. He's like, okay, great. So you can manage it with the food and beverages that you're putting in your body. Basically, anything that's acidic, I can't put in my body. I have a more mild case where if I eat tomato sauce on my pasta like 1 day a week, I'm fine. If I eat it 3 days in a row, I'll start to have a flare-up. Go ahead and grab my phone, so I'll be right back and read you guys a list of acidic foods that probably you guys wouldn't even know are acidic, because I didn't even know that they were acidic until I read them. One sec. Okay, so certain items are more likely to trigger coffee, caffeinated and decaffeinated, tea, soda, alcohol, which was a huge thing for me, citrus juices, huge thing for me, and cranberry juice. Foods and beverages containing artificial sweeteners. So I'm reading right now from www.ichelp.org, and they have so much information on here. So then they have a list of least bothersome and most bothersome foods or beverages that you can drink. So some of the most bothersome foods on here are things like grapefruit, lemons, oranges, pickles, sauerkraut, tomatoes, and like all tomato products, which really affects me. Any processed sandwich meat, so any processed food, soy, yogurt, ketchup, soy sauce, alcohol, coffee, chocolate, pizza, Mexican food, so like any really spicy type food. But then there are a whole list of things that you can eat. So it'll say like bananas are good, which I love bananas, so that's good. Dates, melons. For vegetables, like avocados are super healthy for you and they won't flare you up. Asparagus, beets, broccoli, cabbage, zucchini, squash. So there are so many vegetables that you can eat. I'm not vegan or vegetarian or anything, but I will go days where I will not eat meat or any animal products. I already don't eat dairy at all because of my cystic acne, which I will get into in another video. So I think it's just kind of like mixing and matching what feels good for you, because again, what works for me and what foods I can eat will be completely different than yours. I found this YouTuber, Losing Your Veganity. I'll add her below. But she talked about how she ended up going vegan to combat her IC. Because of that, I actually ended up going vegan for 2 or 3 whole weeks. Didn't eat any meat, didn't eat really any processed foods either. I tried to stick to like whole foods. And I swear this is what healed my gut from the inside out. And after I did that, I just felt like my symptoms were a lot more manageable. So as soon as it started to feel like that UTI kind of feeling again, and even now, I know, okay, I've eaten a lot of acidic foods. I need to chill out. Like I need to stop, drink a lot of water. As now it's been almost 2 years since I found out that I had IC, and I'm feeling amazing. I know exactly what to do to manage my symptoms. As soon as I start to feel something come on, I know what to do, so I'll drink a lot of water, I'll stay away from certain foods. But really the most important thing that I've learned throughout this whole process is just listening to your body. Being like, okay, my body is trying to tell me something with it acting this way. Your body is not going to just freak out for no reason. Either you have an underlying condition, or certain foods are messing with you, or certain drinks are messing with you. I also just wanted to like include here in this video that if you're watching this and you have IC and this is your first YouTube video that you find, you are not alone. There are so many men and women that I've personally met after I was diagnosed with IC who told me about their story and their symptoms and how they're feeling now. And I just remember feeling so alone when I found out that I had it, because there wasn't that much information. It wasn't really widely talked about. I couldn't find anything online. I didn't have any friends who had it. It's not like, I also have IBS, and I feel like my IBS is a lot more relatable, if you will, because a lot more people have IBS. So I want you to know that you're not alone and you're gonna get through this. You're gonna be able to manage your symptoms and find out what works for your body specifically, because everybody's bodies are different, and which I feel like everybody harps on, but it's so true, especially when you get diagnosed with something like IBS, IC, or even things like cystic acne, which I've dealt with in the past because I'm lactose intolerant and it directly impacted my skin. Everybody's bodies are different, so I would just encourage you to do your research, yes, but also just do like a food diary. Every time that you eat, write down, okay, I had pasta with red sauce and a glass of orange juice. Like, so much acidity there. So your body will probably react not in the best way. But on the other hand, let's say that you had a quinoa bowl or brown rice or even white rice, because white rice is fine for me, with chicken and vegetables, and you feel fine, then you have to take note of that. That way you start to build up a better sense of awareness of what works directly for your body. So my 3 biggest tips are going to be to watch your symptoms and keep a food diary. Really try to analyze and see what foods work for you. An elimination style diet where you start taking certain foods, so like start taking all tomato products out of your diet. Then if that's working, it's great. You're still having flare-ups though every once in a while, not as bad, but okay, try taking dairy out of your diet and do it that way. And then 3, most importantly, drink a lot of water. Like drink your body weight in water. If you start feeling something coming on, drink water. That way your body can get it out of your system. Thank you so much for watching my video. Seriously, it means the world to me. Your support means so much. But especially if you have IC, I just wanted to let you know my personal story and how I manage my symptoms now. But really importantly, to let you know that you are not alone. Just know that it is manageable. You just need to find out what works for your body. Thanks for watching.